Alrighty guys, welcome to this week. We're going to talk about some fun stuff. Let's go to Learning Path. Head over to week 6. Okay. You're going to do grid layouts. We're going to learn how to do collapsible content and how to apply different themes so you can make everything a different color as needed. Alright, so this assignment's kind of in depth, not too bad. You're going to create another mini mobile site with 2 pages. One page is going to be the home page and it's going to use the grid layout structure. You can choose between 2, 3, 4, or 5 columns, but it needs to have at least 5 rows of content. So I'm just trying to force you to use the grid layout and to put content in there and just to kind of make it make sense. And you're really going to want to pay attention to this grid layout because, chances are that's what you're going to use for your final. Okay, then the other page is going to have an FAQ, so frequently asked questions, and you're going to use the collapsible content structure to do that, and you'll see that here in a minute. You need to have at least 5 questions with 5 answers. Okay, the FAQ page needs to have at least one collapsible block and at least one collapsible section. You'll see that. And it needs to have at least one nested collapsible blocks in there as well. Okay, these 2 pages need to link to each other using the nav bar concept that we talked about on the last assignment. So just have a nav bar, with a button that'll take you to the home page and then a button that'll take you to the FAQ page. And then you're going to have to apply a theme to the home page and then apply a different theme to the FAQ page. I get it. You're probably going, well, I want the same theme for both pages. That's fine. But the point of this assignment is to show you how to apply different themes and how to create more than one theme. When you get to your final, yeah, you're probably going to only have one theme, and that's fine. But I wanted you to have experience of making at least 2 different themes and being able to apply both of those. Okay, but if you want, make the themes similar, they just need to be a little bit different so I know you have 2 different themes on there. Okay, and like usual, you can do whatever. You can have this be about whatever. The FAQs can be about whatever. The homepage can be about whatever. And to be honest, I mean, if you want to start kind of using this to get started on your final, that's fine. The final will probably, don't quote me on this, will probably be starting at around 7 or 8, week 7 or 8. So again, start thinking about what you want your mobile site to be about. Okay, so let's get started. So I'll hop into brackets here. I just have kind of, the layout here, just a typical thing that we've been doing here. Not much, just with a header and a footer, no content. So I'm going to hop into the content and I'm going to show you how to do the column layouts. So I'm inside the column. I'll just put a little, I don't know, a header here. This is going to be a 2-column layout. Okay, and the way you do this is you set up a div, you give it a class of UI grid-A. So we have A, B, C, D, and so forth. A is a 2-column layout, B is a 3, C is a 4, and so forth, and it can go up to 5. So UI grid A is the 2-column layout. So inside this div, we just throw in the columns. So the first column is going to be class equals UI block A. All right. So we can just call this block A. Doesn't matter what you call it really. And then I'm going to copy this and then throw in block B, block B. So we can save this, take a look at it. So 2 columns, okay, and these are 100% of the width. So as we resize, this column will always take up about, the first 50% of the page, and this column will take up the second 50% of the page. So this is how you can have things be right next to each other and you can start getting your layouts going. Okay, and then the next, let's see where we're at. Let's grab this. I'm just going to copy it here so you're not watching me type forever. So the next one would be kind of what you would think. So the 3-column layout is going to use UI grid B, and then you would just have 3 divs of content instead of 2. So this is going to be UI block C, and then we'll call it C, save it out, and there you go. So there's a 3-column layout. It's got the 1, 2, and 3. So it all just kind of depends on how many columns you want on your site and how many you need and how many you're going to want. Okay. And then I mean, I don't really need to do this, but I will anyways, just to show you, because I mean, it's pretty obvious. So to do the 4-column, it's UI grid C, and then we just have to add another column of content here. So UI block D, call block D, and then of course it goes up to 5. I don't think it goes up higher than that. So 5. Block E. So there's the 2, there's the 3, there's the 4, there's the 5. Excuse me. So you can see as you resize what it does. Ooh, we got a pyramid thing going on. Well, kind of. But anyways, those are the different layouts. And you can mix them like you've seen, right? It's not like I have to have the whole site be a 2-column layout. I could have a 2-column layout here with a couple pictures, and if I wanted to, I could have 3 more and have, some icons. I mean, it's whatever you want to do, and you can mix them as needed. Now, just because I'm curious and I didn't try this, I want to see if it goes any higher. I don't think it does, but I'm going to use grid E to see if it does a 6. I think they kind of realized that, okay, yeah, 6-column layout on a mobile device screen is going to be a little nuts. But let's see. Yeah, it seemed to have kind of died. It's not really doing what it should anymore. So yeah, it doesn't go up to 6. So it goes 2 to 5, however many you want to do there. Okay, so those are the layouts. Those are the grid layouts. Pretty powerful. You don't have to worry about floating and styling anything. You just have to put in, the grid that you're using, and then you just start putting in the blocks, and it styles it for you, which is really slick. I think it's pretty slick. Okay. Okay, so this next part I want to show you is just kind of how you can use it in different ways. The grid layout here. So I can come over here and I can throw in another H3, and we'll just say we're going to do a 3-column layout, but it's going to have multiple rows. Okay, so like right now, if we take a look, we only have that 1 row, but what if we want to add more content in this 2, 3, 4 column, whatever we're doing, right? We need to be able to do that. So it's pretty simple, to be honest. I'm just going to actually come over here and we'll do a 3-column. So I'm going to copy this. Yeah. Yep. All right, so 3-column layout, we'll say multiple rows here. So we have the typical thing that you would think. Now, really all you have to do is just define ABC again. So we have block A, and then I could say this is block A2, this is B3, or oops, this would be B2, and C2. So this is basically the first row, okay, and then this is the second row. So all you got to do is just define more divs with the UI blocks A, B, and C, and then it's just smart enough and it knows what to do. All right, so there's that first row. There's that second row. Then if I want a third row, I just have another set of blocks A, B, and C. So if you're going to continue with the same type of column layout, that's all you got to do is just throw in multiple ones, and it's smart enough to keep doing its thing. Okay. All right. Let's see. Another thing you can do is say I, set up a form. We got method is going to be post. We're not going to have an action because it's not going to do anything. But if I wanted to, I could set up a filled set, and inside that filled set, I can set up these columns. So UI grid. Let's just go. Let's just stick with the 3-column, I guess. Okay, I got my filled set here, and then inside my filled set, I got my legend. I'll just call it, a form with grids. This is just to show you that you can implement these grids really anywhere in the HTML, which is slick. So now I can have class equals UI block A. I'm just going to copy and paste this so we can kind of get it set up. So again, this is that 3-column layout. Hit and delete a bunch of times. There we go. So block A, block B, block C. And then if I wanted to, I could, throw in buttons because this is going to be a form. So button 1. We'll just throw these in these divs. All right, and then we have closed out the filled set. Save it out. Okay, and then we can see that this is now in that grid layout as well. So you can have buttons in there, you can have pictures, you can have links, and there's the legend. I mean, just really wherever you want to throw in this, it'll usually work. Now, I think most of the time you're going to be doing it inside of divs here, but if like forms or if you have certain things that need to use that grid layout, you just throw that class in there and then throw in those blocks and see if it works. See if it works the way that you would need it to. Okay, so that's it for grids. They're pretty simple. Does everything you need, which is nice. Okay, next thing we're going to do are the collapsible blocks. So I'll go back into the H3 here. So this is going to be just a typical normal collapsible block. Nothing too crazy going on with it. So to do it, you do data role equals collapsible. Okay, and then you throw it inside of this div. So I could say H2, and I could say something like I collapse. And then, actually, you may have to do header 1. We'll see in a minute. And then we could say something like I'm the content. I can't remember. I know it wouldn't work, but I'm not sure if it is expecting an H1. It might be. We'll see in a minute. Okay, it's not. So it's expecting some sort of header, it looks like. Any type of header will work. And whatever you throw inside the header is going to be right here. Okay, so I collapse is inside the header. So when you create this collapsible div, the first header is going to be right here. So whatever you put inside the header is going to be inside of here. And then when you click on it, everything underneath that header is the content. So to create another collapsible thing, you wouldn't do another header and it would just know. You'd have to do a whole new collapsible thing. You'd have to come here and do a whole new div. Okay. So now I have to collapsible things here. So whatever the first header is, that's what's going to show up on the button. Then whatever's underneath that header is going to be the content when it collapses. Pretty slick, I think, that it does all of this for you. Okay, let's see. Another thing we can do is if we want something to be collapsed by default, we can say data collapsed equals false. And what that does is just by default, when the page loads, it'll collapse. instead of you having to click on it. So if you have something that you want to show up when the page loads, that's how you would do that. Or if not, it'll load like this, and then they have to click on it to be able to see it. But here with the data collapse faults, just when it refreshes here, by default, it collapses. Okay. Okay, now we can have nested ones. So I'm going to grab this. Okay, and then we'll say something like, I've been nested. Okay, and then here's the content. And then it's just kind of what you would expect is you just put a collapsible div inside of a collapsible div. That's how you would nest it. And you'll see what I'm talking about here. I could say something like, I guess the H1, whatever number you use doesn't really matter. Okay, and then we can say something like, I'm the nested content. Okay, so we have the root div here that's being collapsed, right? And then in here we have the button. Okay, you click on it, it says I'm the content, but inside of the content you have another collapsible button. So let's take a look. So there's I've been nested. Okay, I've been nested, right? It's inside this collapsible div. You click on it. Okay, there's the content. I'm the content. And then inside of it, you have another collapsible button. So sometimes you have in your FAQ, right? You have to do this on an FAQ page. You would have a question that maybe has two different answers. So you would click on that and it would say, well, you know, if the answer is this, click on here. And then if the answer is this, click on here. And then it gives two different answers. And so, you know, kind of branches off. So that's probably a good use for that on your FAQ statement. But just make sure on the assignment that you're using a nested one that only shows up when you collapse it. Okay, so this collapsible button is inside of this one. Okay. All right, now this is how you do sections. So we'll go H3, we'll say collapsible set with 4 sections. Well, I'll do 3. So we're going to have like kind of this overarching div with a data role of collapsible set. Okay, and this div is basically going to contain a bunch of collapsible blocks. So we'll come over here and grab this. All right, so we're saying inside of this div is going to be a set of collapsible blocks, and we'll throw that first one in. Oops. Make sure this is all tabbed over the way it should be. Make it easier to read. Get rid of that. All right, so we have the collapsible set. We've thrown in the first one. Okay, and then we could just say, well, this is, you know, section 1. I'm the content of section 1. Okay, and then it's just a bunch of, like I said, collapsible blocks inside of a collapsible set. So section 2, section 3, section 2, section 3. Let's take a look at what this looks like. All right. So it knows it's a set, so it puts them all together. Okay, it has the rounded sides, rounded rectangle, and the ones in the middle don't. And then it's just part of a section. And it kind of acts like an accordion if you've ever seen those. So as I click one, it closes the other. As I click another one, it closes the other ones and opens that one. And they're all set. They're kind of set in this group. Okay, so you got to make sure that you do that on your FAQ section as well, or your FAQ page. Okay, it's not too bad, right? I mean, this jQuery mobile framework, geez, it does basically all the work for you. You just put in a couple of data roles and classes, and bam, it's doing some pretty cool stuff. I think, anyways. Okay, so that's it for the grids and the collapsible stuff. Okay, now I want to show you how to apply different themes. So, right now, if I come over here and I say data theme equals A, right, nothing really changes because by default A is the data theme. If I change it to B, and I'm pretty sure I've done this in other videos, it goes to this kind of black and this darker theme, which is nice. Now, if I want to, I don't have to apply it just to, sorry about that honking. I have no idea what's going on. Probably somebody's car died or got broken into, and I don't know. But if I want to come over to the header, and I can give it a data theme of B, so everything is data theme A, and just the header is data theme B. So you can get some cool effects there, and I can do that down here on the footer as well if I wanted to throw it in there. So you can apply different themes to different sections, but by default, jQuery Mobile ships with only these two themes, A and B. So if I came back up here and I tried data theme C, saved it, well, actually that might be something, or maybe that's what it does when it's not sure what to do. So I changed it to C and D, and I don't know, it's doing something weird now. I guess this might be kind of like the bare bones theme where it's like, well, there is nothing to do, so it just kind of does nothing. But what I'm going to show you is you can create a data theme C or D or E or however many you want, okay? And you need to create at least two themes. If you want to do more, that's fine, but you're going to create one theme and apply it to the home page. You're going to create another theme and apply it to your FAQ page. So this is how you do it. So I'm going to open a new tab here. I'm going to go to jQuery Mobile's site. They have this cool little tool that we can use that helps us. So we're going to go to jQueryMobile.com, and they have themes. When we click on this, it's going to open this thing called the theme roller. And it's going to say, hey, welcome, we're awesome. You can create up to 26 themes. And the reason why it's 26 because it gives it A, B, C, D, E, F, G until Z, right? 26 letters in the alphabet. So, and if you want to create 26 themes, go for it, but I don't know if you ever would need to. So we're going to hit get rolling. Now the way this works is you can click over here. These are the different swatches. So when you say theme A, this is what it would do. When you do theme B, this is what it would do, theme C, and so forth. Now, if I were to delete all these, and then I started working on swatch A, and I started changing all the colors and such, and then I downloaded it and applied it, well, I would get rid of themes A and B, and I would only have theme A. So it would get rid of the default ones. So really what you want to do here, and you would only have that one theme is all I'm trying to say. So when I do all this and I save it and apply it, I would only have one theme because that's what I've created here. So really what you want to do, I'm just going to load this again, is you want to keep A and B the same. You don't want to touch them. So when you apply it, you'll still have theme A and B if you want to use it. But theme C is what you really want to start messing with. And also you want to create another one. So I'm going to hit the plus here. So we're going to create a theme C and a theme D. But we're not going to touch A or B because we want to keep those default ones that jQuery Mobile comes with. So I'm going to click on C here. And it's pretty simple. You can't really change any of the big things, like the actual icons and like the pictures of the icons and stuff. I mean, you probably could if you got in there and messed with the tools and stuff. Actually, that's interesting. But really all this is doing here, at least all that I've seen and played around with, is just the like colors. That's really about it. All right, so let's say I want kind of like a red theme and a green theme. So what you do is you just kind of grab the color that you want, you click and drag, and you put it wherever you want to change it. So if I want to change those headers to like a green type picture or a green type color, there I go. And then I can come down here and say, you know what, I want the body and stuff to be this lighter green. Okay, then I got this even lighter green here. I'm going to put there, and you can see it changes the color of the icons. So I got this like pukey green going on. You know, this is where you start using your color theory. Right now I still got some blue, which I don't want, so I could maybe grab that dark green again, bring it over. And now this starts kind of showing you what it's going to look like. So that the header is going to be this dark green, the body is going to be white text, the links I can't really read, so I'd maybe want to come over here and change it to like yellow or something. Okay, something to where the links show up. But basically you're just coming through and you're changing all the different colors to whatever you want. And of course this gives you a preview of what it's going to look like. So, and then over here, right, you can change it as well. You don't just need to click and drag from over here. You can come here to the page. So the text color is going to be this color, text shadow, background, border. So you can come over here with the hex values if you want, and you can change them this way as well. So you have a ton of different, like a bunch of different control, a lot of control. You don't have to just click and drag from over here. If you come, you know, you got these, I know I've seen some of you guys use these, but if you can go to like color scheme generators, there's a bunch of them out there. But you can come in here, start the generator. Oh, junk, I don't want that tutorial. You can come over here, start grabbing some color schemes. I haven't really used this one. Wow, that's kind of cool. But you can get the different shades. It gives you the hex values, so you can use these. I know this one's pretty good. I've used this one before. It keeps changing its name, which is weird. But you can just kind of move it around, get the different hex values. So once you get the color scheme, now you have all your hex values that you can use. So once you have the hex values, you can come over here and start putting them in. I don't really care how much time you spend on this, but you know what? You might as well kill the two birds with one stone and start thinking about what you want your color scheme to be for the final and start creating it here. Okay. But anyways, you can come in here, play around with it. You got what the button looks like when it's normal, when you hover over the buttons, when you press it, okay, and so forth. So let's say I'm done here. Now I want to mess with C. So I'm going to use kind of this red color. Let's go more red here. So I like the red. We'll do this kind of, I don't know, pinky color, whatever. Pinkish color, not pinky. Go in here, still got the blue. We'll just use that dark red again. Okay. The links, I'll just make white. I'm good with that. And yeah, so we have kind of everything we want there. So once you have your two themes set up exactly the way you want, now we gotta create them. And hold on here. Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, the small resolution messed me up. I wasn't even messing with D down there. So let me refresh this real quick. Sorry, guys. That was a little annoying. So I'm going to create D because, again, remember, you don't want to mess with A or B because you want to be able to keep those default if you want. I mean, if you don't even want those themes, okay, great. Make it A and B, but just know that you've lost those default themes that it comes with. All right, so let's see. We were like, C was here. Nah, I don't think that was it. Here we go. We got the lighter green. Yeah. Want that darker green. I think it was down here. Okay, I think that's about what it was. So then we have D down here. Got that, and then we have that was there, I think, and then that was there. Links were white. Okay, and then we wanted that darker red right here. Okay, so that was about what I wanted. So I got C set up, and I got D set up. So once you're done, we're going to download the theme zip file. This will contain themes A and B as they come shipped with jQuery Mobile, and themes C as I defined it. Oh wait, hold on. No. Crap. Yeah, I think that's what I had. And then links, we keep white. White is fine. All right, so it'll keep A and B exactly how they are, and then it'll also add themes C and D as I defined them here. So we're going to download it. This tells you right here what you need to do. So really there's three things you add. You add this mycustomtheme.css, and then you add this iconsfiles.css, and then you have to change the CSS that we got from jQuery, and we got to add structure here, which it contains the structure of the CSS, but it doesn't contain all the different themes and such. Okay, so I'm going to call this my theme. You can call it whatever you want. So I'm going to hit download zip. Okay, it gives me this file here. Okay, what am I working in? Okay, zip. I thought we were on week 5, so ignore that. So I'm gonna hit save. Okay, and then we will get into there. So week 5, even though we're actually on week 6. So we open up that zip file that I downloaded, and it gives you an index and a themes folder. All we want is the themes. So I'm going to extract everything. I'll extract it into that folder. Okay, so I don't need that anymore. Don't need any of that. But I do need this. Okay, this is what I just extracted. So I'm going to go on here. There's this index. If I open it up, I don't even know. Okay, so that's swatch A, right? Great, don't really care, but we don't need this index file. All we want is themes. So I'm going to get rid of the index. Take the themes folder, cut it, and bring it out to the same place where my HTML file is, where this file is that I'm working on right now. And I'm just going to keep it in the themes folder, because if I created more themes or something, I want them all to be in this folder here. So if I open up, I got my theme.min if I want to use the min, or I can use just the normal.css. And I have this icons, and then I have this images folder. Okay, so basically I need to add this file and this file to my HTML file. Okay, so we'll do that. And you want to do it above the CSS file that we got from the library. Okay, that we got from jQuery Mobile. So we'll say link rel style sheet. Okay, href. So we're going inside the themes folder, and I'm going to add my theme. You can use the minimum, the min one if you want. It doesn't matter. Either one will work. Okay, and then we're going to throw in the other one. So href themes. Okay, and then we're going to throw in the icons one. So that's enough. So this my theme will contain themes C and D. This is what contains both themes, that I'll be able to apply those whenever I want. And then it just gives me all the icons, I guess. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure what's in here. Okay, but I'm guessing it has something to do with these images, the icons, you know, all the icons it needs to do its thing. Okay, and then the last thing I need to do is come over to this CSS file. Now this contains like all the different, this contains themes A and B, and it will override the themes that I have right now, and I don't want that. So let me double check my notes. I don't want to do this wrong. Yeah, it's right after mobile. Okay, so what I'm going to do is right after mobile here, it's going to be dot structure. Okay, so the CSS file here, it's going to be jQuery.mobile. It used to be jQuery.mobile.min.css. Now it's jQuery.mobile.structure.min.css. So it doesn't really contain the theme styles anymore. It's just the structure. So the format and the layout and such, because it's pulling all the theme styles now from here. Okay, so let's save it. Okay, it still looks good. Still using theme A, which is great. You can say data theme B. Oh, you know what? That's fine. And that actually makes sense because look, A and B are the same. B isn't that dark theme anymore. So we've actually lost that dark theme. Well, which is a bummer, especially if you wanted it. But I could go in there and create my own if I wanted to. But now if I go theme C and I save it out, okay, now I get my little green thing. If I go D, well, that's interesting. Yeah, guys, I must be tired or something. I thought it wasn't applying to the whole thing, but I'm stupid and data theme C, right? Well, I kind of need to apply that to the page. That would be helpful. So I'm going to throw that in there because I was only applying it to the header. So now we're getting all of the different stuff going on. The green, yeah, that's beautiful, right? And of course I can mix and match as I want, you know, I can have, you know, green headers here and red stuff here. But this is just a way to get your site to look a little bit different and not as just default as everyone else's would. Then of course down here I have on my footer, data theme B, I don't want that. We could throw that in as D. And then it's red. So that's how you create it. You know, get it applied, have your two different pages have the different themes. But yeah, that's it. That should be it for the assignment. Okay, so again, just make sure you have the two pages. Okay, you have the grid layout on the home page. The FAQ is going to use the collapsible sets. You can use grids on there too if you want. You don't have to, but you can. You need to have at least the 5 questions with the 5 answers. You got to have one collapsible block set. What I mean by that is just that this is a collapsible block set right here. Just this section right here. Okay, you need to have at least one collapsible section. So if you wanted to, you could have, you know, a couple of collapsible blocks in there and then have 3 in the section. So this would be fine. You'd have 1 here and 1 here and then 3 here. That's fine. Okay, of course, then you need to have the nested as well. So when it's nested, this still counts as just one question. Okay, so one question with maybe multiple answers. And okay, so just make sure you do that. Make sure they link together with the nav bar that we talked about last assignment. Okay, and then apply the theme to the home page and the FAQ page. You can have the color scheme be very similar if you want, like maybe just different shades of green on the second one down here. That'd be fine. Doesn't matter to me. Just I want to be sure that you can apply the 2 different themes if needed. All right, guys, good luck. Any questions, email me, let me know, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.